Hello everyone! Did you grow up thinking lasagna was the ultimate comfort food, warm, rich, and always safe on your plate? Well, if you're over 60, that old belief might quietly be hurting your health more than you realize. Today, let's break down what lasagna is really doing to your body after 60, and how to enjoy it without putting yourself at risk. 1. Reheating old lasagna? Here's the hidden danger. Hey, have you ever kept a piece of lasagna in the fridge, thinking you could just reheat it tomorrow? You're certainly not alone. A lot of people over 60 do this to avoid wasting food, but I'm telling you, it could be more dangerous than you think. Look, when lasagna sits in the fridge for too long, especially if it's not cooled properly or covered, it can produce things that don't smell, look, or taste different, but they can still make you very sick. These invisible things thrive in cold, moist, meaty dishes like lasagna. And older people are more likely to be seriously affected than younger people. People over 60 may feel tired, run a fever, or start feeling confused and never even suspect that it's because of that leftover lasagna. And once it starts, it can strike fast and hard. You could end up in the emergency room without even knowing what just happened. So here's what I'm saying. Don't trust leftovers just because they look okay. Store them in an airtight container. Eat them within 1 to 2 days and always reheat them until steaming, not just warm. And if in doubt, throw them out. Seriously, your health is worth more than a reheated dinner. Comment 1 below if you've ever left lasagna in the fridge for more than 2 days. 2. Buying whole lasagna from stores? Be careful. Did you know? A lot of people pick up hot food from the deli counter when they're tired or just want something quick for dinner. And lasagna? It's one of the most popular choices. It looks warm, it smells good, and it seems like a safe, easy option. But here's what most people don't think about. You don't know how long it's been sitting there. If that hot lasagna isn't kept at the right temperature, isn't hot enough, or has been sitting there for too long, it's a perfect home for germs. And I'm not talking about food that's obviously spoiled. This stuff still looks and smells fine. The thick layers of cheese and meat in lasagna make it difficult to heat evenly. And once it cools down even a little, bad stuff can start to grow. For people over 60, that's a big problem. Your body doesn't fight off food-related illnesses the way it used to. What started as a stomach ache can turn into days of fatigue, diarrhea, or worse. So the next time you're at the store and that tray of lasagna catches your eye, ask the staff when it was made. If they can't tell you, that's a sign to skip it. And if you do take it home, eat it right away or refrigerate it quickly. Never leave it on the counter. And whatever you do, don't reheat it more than once. Comment 2 if you've ever bought hot lasagna or pre-made food thinking it was a safe shortcut. B. Looks hot, but is it cooked through? Let me ask you this. Have you ever taken a piece of lasagna out of the microwave, felt the plate heat up, saw the cheese bubbling on the surface, and just ate it? Well, here's the thing. Just because it looks ready doesn't mean it actually is. Lasagna is thick and layered, and the middle can still be cold even when the outside feels hot. And that's where the danger lurks, especially if you're over 60 and your stomach isn't as strong as it used to be. Undercooked lasagna may not seem like a big deal, but when the inside isn't fully heated, it can harbor things that mess with your digestion. Maybe you've felt more bloated, tired after eating, or had sudden stomach cramps and blamed it on age or just eating too much. But it was probably a cold medal that you didn't realize. When food isn't hot enough on the inside, it doesn't kill what it's supposed to kill. And your body? It takes a toll. A young person may recover quickly, but for you, it can lead to days of discomfort, weakness, or worse. So here's what you should do next time. Cut your lasagna in half before reheating. Stir or flip it if you can. After microwaving, check the middle with a spoon. If it's not steaming, reheat. A few extra seconds now could save you a week of discomfort. Comment 3 if you've ever eaten something hot on the outside but cold on the inside and thought nothing of it. Or cheap frozen lasagna? Think twice before you grab it. Now, some of you may have bought one of those frozen lasagna trays at the store. The cheap, easy to reheat, and freezer-safe kind. Seems like a smart choice, right? But let's slow down a bit. Do you really know what's inside that frozen box? Mass-produced frozen lasagna is often made with low-quality ingredients. Meat that's been frozen, thawed, and refrozen. Sauces from industrial vats. Cheese that's more filler than food. These trays can sit in a warehouse or freezer for months before they hit the shelves. And just because it's frozen doesn't mean it's safe for everyone, especially if you're over 60. Look, your digestive system isn't as robust as it once was. That means your body has a harder time processing old fats, processed meats, or old cheese. Even if the lasagna looks fine when it comes out of the oven, what it does to your stomach afterward may not be worth it. Bloating, stomach discomfort, fatigue that lasts for days. And let's be honest, you're not getting real nutrition from a $2.00 tray of mystery meat and chewy noodles. You're taking a shortcut that could hurt you later. So next time you reach for frozen lasagna, flip the box over. Look at the ingredients. Can you read them? Do you recognize them? Choose trusted brands. Choose shorter ingredient lists, and always check the expiration date, not just the price. Comment 4 if you've ever bought frozen lasagna just because it looked easy and cheap. 5. Leftover lasagna from a party? You might want to skip it. Let's be honest. You've probably been to a family reunion, church function, or neighbor's dinner where someone offers you a piece of lasagna to take home. It feels generous. You don't want to waste food. And honestly, it looks pretty good. But here's the problem. You don't know how long that piece of lasagna has been sitting out. Maybe it's been sitting on the kitchen counter for hours. Maybe it went from someone's table to a plastic container to your refrigerator without cooling properly. You don't know who touched it. You don't know how hot it was or wasn't. And if you're over 60, that little mystery piece can turn into a real health problem. Your body doesn't fight off spoiled or contaminated food as quickly. You might feel fine at first, then suddenly feel exhausted, nauseous, or weak for days. What may seem like just a little stomach upset could actually be a sign that your body is recovering. It's easy to tell yourself, it's just a small bite. I'll reheat it quickly. But is it worth the risk? Here's a smarter move. If you're not sure how long that piece of lasagna has been sitting out or how it was processed, don't eat it. Thank the person, accept it if you're feeling polite, but throw it away afterwards if you're not sure. Your stomach won't remember it, but your body will thank you. Comment 5 if you've ever kept leftovers from a party in the fridge just because you didn't want to waste food. So let's just take a step back and look at what we've talked about today. If you're over 60, lasagna is not just a cozy comfort food anymore. It can quietly mess with your health in ways you might not expect. Reheating old lasagna, that can go south fast if it's been sitting too long or wasn't stored right. Grabbing a hot tray from the store looks tempting, but if it's not hot enough or sat under that heat lamp too long, you're playing with fire. Microwaving it, but not checking the middle? That cold center can be a hidden danger, even if the top's bubbling. Buying those cheap frozen lasagna trays? You may be saving money now, but your stomach might pay for it later. And leftovers from a friend or a party? I get it. Nobody wants to waste food. But if you're not sure how long it's been out, it's just not worth the risk. All 5 of these seem innocent, but together they paint a pretty clear picture. Lasagna's only safe if it's fresh, stored right, and heated all the way through. Trust your gut, literally. If something feels off, skip it. Comment below with a number that hit closest to home. Was it 2, 4? Let's talk about it. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up lasagna for good. Heck no. We all need that comfort food sometimes. But here's the deal. If you love it, there are smarter ways to enjoy it without putting your body through the ringer. First, try making your own small batch at home. Use fresh ingredients, bake it right, and split it into single servings. Freeze each piece right away. That way, you're not eating week-old leftovers or guessing how long it's been in the fridge. Second, swap out some of those heavier ingredients. Use lean ground turkey or even lentils instead of greasy sausage. Go easy on the cheese or try a part-skim version. And load it up with veggies, spinach, mushroom, zucchini. They'll add flavor, fiber, and make it easier on your digestion. Third, portion size matters more than you think. As we get older, our body doesn't need as much food in one sitting. So instead of a big old slab, start with a smaller slice. Add a side of steamed broccoli or a small salad, and you've got a balanced plate without overloading your system. And finally, always reheat it the right way. Cut it in half first, check the middle, reheat until it's steaming hot, not just warm on the edges. These little changes, they go a long way in protecting your gut, your strength, and your energy levels. All the stuff that really matters after 60. So you don't have to quit lasagna, just outsmart it. Also, if you've got a better way of making lasagna that works for your health, I'd love to hear your twist on it. You see, when it comes to lasagna, especially if you're over 60, it's not just about what's in it. It's also about where it came from, how it was stored, and how long it's been sitting there. A slice that's been sitting out too long, a slice from a shady place, or even one that looks hot but isn't cooked through. All of those things can be sneaky ways to harm your health. And sometimes the part we trust the most, like a frozen tray or leftovers from a friend, can be the most dangerous. So next time you're about to eat, stop for a second. Ask yourself, does this still feel safe, or is it just familiar? So remember, sometimes the smartest thing you can do for your body isn't to give up lasagna altogether, but simply to cut it into smaller pieces, reheat it properly, and pay attention to how you feel after eating it. Being over 60 doesn't mean you can't enjoy the foods you love. It just means you need to be smarter about the risks. Whether it's keeping track of how long it's been out, where it comes from, or how big your portions are, every little decision counts. If this has made you rethink how you eat lasagna, comment below and let me know which number surprised you the most. And don't forget to follow HEALZO for more practical, actionable tips to help you live a healthier life, not just longer, but healthier.